Writers, write what they know. Liars, write what they wanna show. Secret language, speaking in tongues. Snake like tongue tied, you on the run. Tribal dancing, I don't know what you are, you are, you are, you are. Shouldn't touch, you gotta know touch and sign. I feel like I shouldn't run. You're blocking the exit with your life.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another Ross Reviews. Today we're standing next to the 2005 Honda Accord Euro. This is a CL9 model with the luxury pack, and I gotta say this is actually a really nice looking car. Now these are also known as an Acura TSX over in North America, and you know, in their stock form they can come across as kind of basic or boring, but when you get a nice set of wheels on these cars, they can really turn some heads. Now speaking of wheels, this car is running 18x9 BBS LMs. Just look really, really nice on this car. This is sitting on coilovers, so it just fits really nicely. From factory, this thing would have had 17-inch wheels, so I'll show you a picture of what that would have looked like. Now just popping the bonnet on this car, this has the K24 V-TEC engine. This is a 2.4 liter naturally aspirated inline 4-cylinder, makes just under 200 horsepower and about 170 pound-foot of torque. These cars are all front-wheel drive. This one does have the 6-speed manual fitted though, with 0 to 100 being around 7.5 seconds. Now just at the back of the Euro, this has got to be one of the car's best angles. Just looks really nice back here, really clean taillights, super simple design. We've also got twin exhaust back here, so take a listen. All right, now inside this Honda Accord Euro, and it's actually really nice in here. This has got the luxury pack, so you know, you've got leather seats in here, got a bit of fake wood trim in here as well, which, you know, it does give it an all right feel. This car is a 2005 model, so, you know, this is 15 years old now, but it's still fairly nice in here. Now, like I said, this car does have the 6-speed manual, so I always like to see that. You could have spec'd this car out as a 5-speed auto though as well. Now just going down the center console, just very, very basic radio. Does have a 6-disc CD changer, which is pretty dated technology now, but back in 2005, that was a bit of a luxury. Unfortunate part about this though, is there is no Bluetooth connectivity or aux input. So if you want to listen to your music, got to burn some CDs or get a transmitter. But other than that, very simple to use, you know, easy dials for volume, you know, your climate control stuff, it's just super easy, very, very basic. Now just in the back, these have got really nice back seats, you know, super comfortable, leather, just like up the front. And there's a pretty decent amount of room. You know, I've got plenty of headroom, leg room is okay, and no real complaints. So all up on the interior, it's just still a really nice place to be. It's got plenty of comfort, still enough luxury, and just everything still works. That's the best part. Nothing is broken on this interior. Everything does what it's supposed to, and that is the best part about owning a Honda like this. So let's get this thing out on the road and see how good it actually drives. Straight away driving this, I can just say that this is just a really easy car to drive. Just, you know, the gear shifts are just super easy. Clutch is really easy. Just the steering, very, very comfortable seats. Just, yeah, it's just a really nice car to drive. And considering this thing is 15 years old, I got to give it to Honda. Like, this is a good car. It really is. My BA Falcon Ute, my XR8, that is 15 years old. It's a 2005 like this one. And yeah, this car really, for interior quality, is just far superior. The pull is quite linear. I was expecting the V-TEC to be a little bit more noticeable. It is, at the moment, kind of hard to tell actually when it kicks in, but it seems to be like what the internet was telling me, around that 6,000 mark, which seems a bit crazy. It's definitely at 6,000. So V-TEC does kick in very late. It's 6,000 RPM. You can hear that engine note just change slightly, and you've only got to 7,200 RPM, so it is quite short. But you know, the car pulls pretty nicely anyway. So for just under 200 horsepower, I think it's 197 to the crank. Who knows what it is to the wheels, but it goes all right. Now here in Australia, these cars were actually extremely popular, with over 45,000 sedans sold between 2003 and 2008. So you do see these cars getting around, and because they are so reliable and durable, you know, there's plenty of them still on the road, and they're bargain priced right now. But anyways, let's get into the 5 questions here. So let's start off with sound. Well, let's just crank the window down a bit. There ain't much sound. Look, you can hear the engine more than you can hear the exhaust, and you can tell when V-TEC kicks in, which does give it a nice little, more of an aggressive note, you know, but there really is not much sound to this car at all, sadly. Now, you probably could get an aftermarket exhaust and make it sound a lot nicer, though I don't really know a whole lot about these cars, to be fair, so the internet can probably tell me that. Now, practicality. Well, practicality is really strong in this car because it is a Honda and it will last the test of time. You know, this thing is just reliable. Everything in this car works. I've touched like all the buttons in here and I haven't found anything that's broken, which is really impressive in a 15-year-old car. You know, it's comfortable. The seat is just really comfortable. All the electric, all works really good. It's quick, you know, just very comfortable. The seating position is great. The wheels very comfortable as well. And, you know, everything's just easy to reach, easy to get to. So that's just really nice. Plenty of room in the back, like I covered. You know, even the boot has just got tons of room in the boot. So this is a very, very practical car. It's a 4-cylinder NA. So, you know, as long as you're not hitting V-TEC every gear change, this thing's not going to drink much petrol either. Just going into a corner here, you know, there is hardly any roll. We are running coilovers, so, you know, it is aftermarket, but, man, it feels good. And the thing that's surprising me is that it's not harsh. You know, you go over bumps, you know, some rough roads, and it just soaks up the road really, really nicely. So, you know, this car is just very comfortable, and it is a sporty car, so it does handle itself pretty damn well. Steering is pretty responsive too. You know, it's not the quickest steering out there, but for a 4-door sedan, you know, this is pretty nice. This has definitely surprised me. Now, price. Well, brand new here in Oz, these started at about $36,000. So, you know, that's pretty good value. But then again, this has the luxury pack, which is definitely something you would want to have got. So I'm not exactly sure how much that would have added to the car, but you would have wanted to get that. These Hondas were pretty affordable. And, you know, they're sort of that middle-class luxury car. You couldn't afford the Beamer. You got something like this with the luxury pack because it is really nice in here. You know, you got leather, sunroof, cruise control, everything's electric. So, you know, it is quite a nice ride in here, quite a nice car. Now on the used market, you can get these cars for literally pennies. About 5 to 10 grand, you can get a really nice one of these. If you spend, I've even seen people get these for under 5 grand if you're gonna get something that's got higher Ks and a bit of rougher shape. But you get something that's got low Ks, reasonably nice condition, if you got 10 grand, happy days. And driving this car now, it is a lot of car for that money. It really is. Now, I've previously reviewed a Lexus GS300, and to be honest, this is giving me a lot of those vibes. Now, the Lexus had the NA2JZ, and it was a great car. That was automatic though. This is a manual. I really like the gearbox in this, but I'm really getting a Lexus vibe almost from this Honda. It's that nice inside. Now, 0 to 100 impressions. This thing is claimed at just about 7.5 seconds, sort of. So let's test that out. We've got the manual version, so who knows how close we'll get. I've got the traction control off. This is front wheel drive, obviously, so this may bunny hop a little bit, but 3, 2, 1. 100. Wow, I was it does. I'll probably say that was probably 7-8 seconds, but I was actually quite surprised on that first gear launch there, where she actually spun the wheels up a bit, and she wasn't really bunny hopping either. That was very quite funny. I don't usually do too many front wheel drive cars, so having this as a daily, you do it up, a couple of mods on this car as well would probably really, really complement it. I think a nice exhaust, give it a tune, put a nice intake on it, and this thing's probably going to surprise you. It already handles really nicely, so I'm quite impressed with it. All right, let's just see if we can crack that time a little bit better. So we're in first again. Traction control is off. Just give it a little bit and chirped in second. 100. All right, yeah, we got a little bit more hop there. The first one definitely went a little bit smoother, but I'm gonna have to try and count that time on there. But I'm gonna call it right now before I've actually seen the time. Let's just make a random prediction here, and I'm gonna just say 8.2, 8.3, maybe. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna finish the video off here today. Huge thanks to the owner for allowing me to take his Honda Accord Euro out today. This car has really surprised me. This thing just does exactly what it's supposed to, as a fun, cheap daily that V-TEC. Enough said. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If so, please remember to hit that like button. Consider subscribing if you're new here, and we'll see you on that next video.